Okay, what's up, folks? How we doing? I'm back. I am doing something super fun today. So, you get to have a little sneak peek into my scanning process, which is sure to fill your head with knowledge. But we're going to do that, and we're going to do a little bit of trichrome photography. So, let's get started by scanning these negatives in super fast motion. Here we got view scan pulled up, and I've already picked the 3 frames that I'm going to do, and they look terrible right now, don't they? But we're going to fix that. So let's get started. All right, boy. I don't know about you guys, but I am so glad that I bought the world's finest and fastest scanner so that I could do all of that scanning in 10 seconds flat and definitely not speed up the video. Alright, cool. So now we got that. Let's edit these suckers. So, I haven't really decided how I'm going to do this video, but it might be after some text. But in case it's not, here's a quick explanation of trichrome, which is where you take black and white film and you shoot the same picture on it through 3 different filters: a red filter, a blue filter, a green filter, and actually very specific shades of those filters. And once you've got all 3, you can see the slight differences that the different filters make on it. Then you can line them up and plug them into Photoshop channels, and it will come together as an RGB full color image on black and white film. Is that crazy or what? I thought it was crazy, so of course I had to try it. So these were taken on 35mm film, HP5, one of my favorite films ever. Wow, this one's messy. This is gonna be interesting to see how this turns out. And then it was with my OMG, my Olympus OMG camera, which is maybe the best camera name ever. So what you need to do is, I've got my red one, my green one, my blue one, and at least I think that's the order. If it's not, it will become very apparent very soon. So we're gonna grab these, and the first thing we need to do is make sure that they are exactly the same size of canvas to the pixel, or else they will not work correctly. So we're just gonna go up to 6800 by 4500 on all of them, just to make totally sure. They probably already are, but in case your scans are not exactly the same size, this is a good way to fix that. Just make it a little bit bigger. You'll have a bit of a border. It all gets cropped after it's combined anyway, so don't worry about the border. Yeah, I think these were all exactly the same size, so I wasted that effort, but there you go. This is also very dusty, dirty negative. There's like a big old hair in this one. You can clean that up in the individual frames before you combine them if you'd like to, clone out dust and stuff like that. I'm not going to bother this time just because I'm not even sure if I'm going to like the results of this or not, but it's definitely better to do it before you combine them, and you'll probably see why in just a minute. So once you've got them all the same size, then you go over into your layers area in Photoshop and you can switch it over to channels. Now I'm using Photoshop CS6 because I'm cheap and I bought it like 8 years ago, and I'm going to use it until I can't anymore, which has no specific date already figured out. So if you're using Creative Cloud, I'm assuming that the channels area is somewhere somewhat similar, but if you go into window, you should be able to find it in here too. So yeah, anyways, go into channels, which I apparently just turned it off, so that's good. Yeah, there it is. Okay, go into channels, and then this little guy here should have a little thing that says merge channels. Now there's 3 reasons why this might be dimmed out if you're going in and trying to find it. The first one is that your 3 images that you have open are not exactly the same size pixel dimensions. The second is that they are not in grayscale color space. So if you go up into this little area, it says gray 16. If yours says RGB or anything like that up here, that will not allow you to blend or to merge channels. And then lastly, if you've got things in layers in any of these documents that are not just the background, it will also dim it out. I learned that one the hard way. But if everything's good to go, then you hit merge channels, switch this over to RGB. I should have 3 channels, and then hopefully you've shot them in an order that helps you easily remember. I shoot mine in RG and then B every single time, so it's easy for me to keep it straight. So yeah, RGB, perfect, that lined up on its own. Then you hit OK, And look at that! This one came out weird. That's fun. Okay, so let's go back to layers and see if we can do some color correction. So this is a yellow rose, so we're not too far off. And I'm going to just add a curves mask and see if we can't fix some of those colors a little bit. And actually, before I even do that, I'm going to zoom way in and make sure everything's lined up properly. So we'll go to the actual pixels on this, and yeah, you can see it looks like chromatic aberration, but what it really is that my channels aren't lining up correctly. So we're going to move the red one up a bit. I think it's moving. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, you see that? It's like all the way over here. So we'll line that one up. And I know Photoshop has an auto align feature, but I have just found it easiest to do it on my own, frankly. Okay, blue. There we go. Okay, I think I've got them lined up now. So the reason why your color balance might be way off is because if you get the exposure wrong on any given frame, basically, then you have too much of that color channel in your final photo. So this one looks like it's kind of lacking on blue and red. I don't know. I might not be telling correctly, but we're going to just screw around with curves until I feel like I fixed it to an extent. So let's see what happens if we pull some of the red out of here. No, it needs more red. That's part of the problem. Okay. And then let's add a little bit of blue. See what that does. It might be easier to do this in even amounts using the levels tool than the curves tool. The curves tool is more powerful, but the levels tool is easier, and I think it's more suited to what I'm actually trying to do right now. So let's add some red. Did we like it better with more red? Yeah, we did. A little bit. Let's see what happens if I play around with green. Yeah, see, it has way too much green. So let's just pull out some of the green, right? That's starting to look more like it. And now I think it has too much red. Let's pull out some of the red too. And then blue. Yeah, that's probably about right. And then the exposure overall was like kind of low. I can fix that a bit. Okay, so that's kind of like ballpark-ish okay. If I liked this photo better, I would go into Lightroom now and fix it. But I don't. So instead, I'm going to try a different one from the roll and see if something else turned out better. All that said, though, pretty freaking cool that you can get a full color image out of black and white film. Also, this is what I was talking about when I said you might want to clean up individual frames before you combine them, because this is like, obviously all those splotches were on the red frame, and like this little scratch was on the green one. I think there was a hair up here. Yep, that was on the blue one, turns out. This like watermark thing here. Yeah. Apparently my developing process needs some work so that my negatives don't turn out so crappy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna cut away to go use the fastest scanner in the world again, and then we'll come back and see if I can combine another one and get a better result. Be right back. And we're back after I made these scans. Alright, so this is a fun picture. And we're gonna see if it is cool in color, or if it even works. The moment of truth. So same thing, I already did all, oh, see, they're not the same canvas size today apparently, so let's go fix that. Cool, one. That's weird, it detected it. Oh, I did image size instead of canvas size. Ah, man, curse me in my efficiency. Man, I swear these were the same size. Oh well. Oh, it's because I was in layers, not channels. I'm dumb. Okay, cool. Now that we fix that, we have these. Okay, maybe okay. Let's line this sucker up. See what that looks like. Scooch ye reds over. Good. And ye blues. Okay, good. I think that's about right. Can't actually tell for sure, but everywhere that I see, I think I've gotten rid of the blue fringe. And greens. That might be as good as we're gonna get. Okay, so kind of yellow, a little weird, but let's, oops, not 4 to 3, 2 to 3. Let's crop that sucker down a little and see if we can't get the colors to line up right. The problem with this is that there's so many places you can go wrong, right? It's possible I exposed improperly. Every single one of those, the 3 color filters you have to use, has a different filter factor. So one of them is 3 stops, one of them is 2 2/3 stops, and one of them is 2 1/3 stops. So that's kind of a pain, and I don't even have like 1/3 stop detents on my aperture ring for any of my lenses, so I'm just kind of like spitballing it there. And then it's also possible that the scanner did something like processed one of them brighter than the other or something like that. I tried my best to turn off all the processing on the view scan, but it's totally possible that I missed something, and that's why the levels look weird. So let's first of all just get our levels where we like. Oh, look at that. Even when I do RGB, it seems like it's getting better. Oh man, that's so weird. Oh no, it's because I'm in the green channel. I'm just stupid. What on earth? Why is it only giving me the green channel? Is it because I selected the green channel? Yeah, that'll do it. I promise I know how to use Photoshop, guys. I'm totally qualified to teach you how to use Photoshop. Okay, so we definitely have too much yellow, which means we add blue, right? That's like the consensus. Yeah, see, that's starting to look like real life. That's much better. Okay. It doesn't need it so much in the midtones, more in the highlights it super needed it. And I think the shadows could use a little more red. Maybe, not too much. Maybe just less green, basically. Maybe in the midtones as well. The rocks look a little green. Now everything's too red. Let's pull out some of that red. Did I add red? No, but I need to take some out. Okay, yeah, that's looking like pretty good. So I could fiddle with this, but you get the idea. And yeah, there's some scratches and stuff in there, and it's not like, here's the thing, I'm using like a flatbed scanner. So I have access to a Nikon Super Cool Scan LS4000, which is Nikon's 90th name for a device ever conceived. But it is a super cool scan. It's actually a tremendously good scanner. They're ridiculously overpriced. But my dad bought one back when it made a lot of sense to have a high-end 35mm film scanner, and we still have it, and it still works. So when I get that sucker in my house at some point in the near future, I hope, I'll get way better scans, and I'm hoping that translates to better final results too. But this was kind of a proof of concept for me. This is my first roll I've shot with Trichrome filters, and I'm very encouraged. It blows my mind that this was shot on black and white film. That is so dang cool to me. So, I think what I will do is throw this in Lightroom off screen, because this video is already getting a little long, and then I'll just put up the final result right here. So there you go. There you have it. 35mm film shot on Ilford HP5 full color, baby. And that is cool. And if that's not cool, I don't know what cool is, which is entirely possible. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if this was cool, because apparently I don't know. And we'll see you next time.